Hey everybody, so we are actually in round 4 of my F1 2020 career mode. We are with Haas. We are ahead of Lewis Hamilton by 7 points, and we are behind Mercedes by 7 points in the constructors. I'm ahead of Lewis Hamilton by 25 points after he did not finish in the points in Canada, and we won the race. So it's going to be 18 laps around Austria, Spielberg, Austria. This is the first time that I have a face cam for any gaming experience, so you'll be able to see what I see and everything else. So let's get into it. So as I said, I'm going to be starting on pole. Lewis Hamilton rounds up the front row. Then it's Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Norris, Ocon, Gasly, Kvyat, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi rounds out the field. We're racing here in Austria. For my first time in F1, what's our strategy? So 9 laps on the softs, 9 laps on the mediums. Well, we'll see what this gets us. Let's get going. Formation lap here, so yeah. We had a very poor start at Canada because we did not have very good traction because I did not heat the tires up enough. So someone told me that I should join Mercedes instead of Haas. Here's the thing, mate. I'm not a Mercedes fan. I'm a Max Verstappen fan. Which is why I was so excited after the Imola race last Sunday. It was absolutely amazing. And for some weird reason, the cars are ghosting all over the place. Okay. So yes. Here we go. Moving into our respected grid square. Field forming up. There we are. As Latifi pulls in. Here we go. Myself and Hamilton, the front row. 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go here in Austria. Hamilton with a very poor start. Verstappen already alongside him. Bottas up into second. And we got a very good launch other than and Bottas now on right on us. It's a collision between the two of us, so we have to back off. This could be what puts us ahead of the 2 Mercedes. Possibly not. We need Grosjean to get points, and we need these two to not finish high up. Verstappen doing us a solid by getting around Hamilton taking him off the podium for us. But now, what about Bottas? We need the Mercedes to struggle these last 7 races, which is also counting this one. As we get the quickest lap of the race. Doing well right now. Hamilton trying to get around, trying to catch back up to Verstappen, but Verstappen attempting to catch and overtake Bottas. So both the Mercedes occupied at the moment, giving me the chance to slip away from the rest of the field. So if you guys don't know, I actually started my F1 2020 career doing 3 F2 races. And, well, it went very well. So, we won the F2 World Championship, and now we moved into Haas, and it seems that, unfortunately, our teammate picking was not a very good choice. Roman Grosjean not doing so good this season. We're just going to have to hope that he can pick up the act. As we start lap 3 here. Through the horseshoe. It's not actually called the horseshoe, but I call it the horseshoe. Down into turn 9. Through turn 10 with amazing speed. It's not going to be a better lap. In fact, it's a 0.2 worse. This is the kind of track that I like. Austria. Definitely a track that I love, and I will always love. Just waiting for the F1 2022 game to come out for all players. As it is kind of cool to see Kevin Magnussen back and almost kind of having the 2020 livery back on the Haas car. That time in an even worse lap, but we had our best third sector, so Hamilton closing the gap on Verstappen, and Verstappen not really being able to catch Bottas. So that could be a defiant move for Mercedes, but we know that there have been engine problems in the past. So we're going to change our pit strategy to lap 8 instead of lap 9, probably because Grosjean will be coming in on lap 9, and Verstappen is in the position to have for DRS on Bottas. within 4/10 of each other. We set an even quicker lap by 0.05 of a second. So we'll be coming in 3 laps now, in 2 laps. Hopefully, Verstappen can find a way to get past Bottas, and we don't have to worry about him and we can try and just go off with the worry-free fact that hopefully the Mercedes won't both be on the podium, because that will be bad for our Constructors' Championship push. However, we have seen that it is possible for engines to blow out later on in this race, especially if they are pushing hard. And right before right as I started this video, I had to change some components, otherwise we might have had a mechanical failure. So here we go, down to Horseshoe Overlook. Checking the track map. And there is a caution. Someone has blown up. I am pretty sure, because Sebastian Vettel was automatically placed up into P5. Yes, Alexander Albon has blown his engine. Will there be a safety car? That could be bad for my pit strategy if there is a safety car, but at the same time, it could in fact help us. But it seems like the caution is gone. Actually, no, he has actually moved off to a even worse part of the circuit, and he is off track, and so far it's just a section of the track that has yellow. So I do not believe there will be a safety car. So let's go ahead and push once again and come in this lap. It's possible we may not even have to be worried about being overtaken by Bottas. Here we go. We pull off the track surface. Down into the pits we go. As we start lap 9 in the pits. Here we go. Medium tires going on. 2.8 seconds for Haas. That is amazing pit stop. And we are out ahead of Valtteri Bottas by quite a ways. However, we still need to get some heat into these tires, and Valtteri, he is catching. They have cleared Alexander Albon's Red Bull off the circuit, so no safety car necessary. So we begin to once again pick up speed. Hamilton now. He seems to be looking for the overtake, and he gets around Verstappen. He needs something to happen to the Mercedes, otherwise our push for the constructors could end right here. So we begin lap 10. Pretty sure we'll see some drivers diving down. Yep, Hamilton and Verstappen pull down into the pits. Sebastian Vettel pulls down into the pits. Pretty sure Sergio Perez follows them. No, Perez stays out. Leclerc stays out. Stroll stays out. Bottas stays out. And Grosjean did not come in, or has not come in yet, so I believe he has just not come in this lap. So could Grosjean be in for a medium tire stint to soft tire stint and trying to play the long game to try and earn some points? I've never tried that out before, but I know it can work sometimes. I've never tried it on this game, but I have tried it on F1 2019, and I ended up winning that race. That race ended up being my home Grand Prix. In the US. Catching some lap cars now. Could they affect the outcome of this race? We already have our new set of tires. Lance Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo, the only two who have not pitted, possibly even Kvyat, because he is also on the soft, as Grosjean now comes down into the pits. We are going to lap our teammate, one of the Williams and Alfa Romeos, Raikkonen, down in the pits. That is Raikkonen, one of the Williams, and Grosjean down one lap. That is very annoying for Haas because there's me, who was up leading the Drivers' Championship, gaining points every race weekend. And then there's Grosjean, who's not getting any points at all. We are P2 in the Constructors, up for a chance to take the victory as Verstappen jumps Hamilton there, so Hamilton no longer on the podium. That is good. That is at least good news for us, as Kvyat comes out in our way. He's going to stay in our way. Kvyat does not move out of the way, and that slows us down, but with a massive lead over Valtteri. Doesn't matter. Lap 13 out of 18. Stuck in traffic. Could this be what Valtteri Bottas needs to come collect this victory? It's how Hamilton was able to catch up and eventually be able to wait for that checkered flag moment in Vietnam, in the Vietnamese Grand Prix, as we set another quickest lap, this time 109.28, 4/10 better than my last quickest lap. I think that might be the best we're going to get as we begin to catch up to Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo. Being shown the blue flags so they know that I'm here. Sainz, he affected the end of the race at Vietnam. He slides out of the way, and Ricciardo goes big on the brakes, and that actually lets Sainz get around the Renault. Through turns 9 and 10, it's going to be a slower lap. By 0.3 as we come up on Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc. They've both been shown the blue flag, so they know that I'm here. Stroll gets out of the way. We're going to have to pull a Verstappen on Leclerc. He is definitely not going to be happy about that. So we overtake Leclerc with a move that was made by Verstappen in the real 2020 Austrian Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, I can assure, is not happy with that. As we begin to chase down Sergio Perez, Checo. Here we go, down the main straight. Going to begin lap 16. And Sergio Perez being shown the blue flags. As we go wide. Vettel, he knows that I'm coming as well. We're not able to get past Sergio going into the corner, but we're able to get him out of the corner. Now chasing after Sebastian Vettel, he knows I'm there. What will he do? We dive down, and we take the spot from him. Now, this becomes very controversial because we are coming up to Lewis Hamilton, our biggest rival in the championship, in both championships, the constructors and the drivers. We're going to pit maneuver him and send him hard into the wall. Not a very clean move whatsoever, but sometimes the best thing to do is not the cleanest thing to do. So we once again put Sebastian Vettel a lap down. So now, Lewis Hamilton, nowhere in the... Never mind, he is in P6. This could still be Mercedes leading the constructors, but not by much. As we come to Max Verstappen, what will he do? Next lap is the final lap. Could we possibly catch Hamilton's teammate of Valtteri Bottas? Verstappen lets us by on the straight as we begin our chase to Valtteri Bottas. What will we do? Because Bottas actually caused the incident that lost me the Vietnam Grand Prix out of turn 10. Bottas begins lap 17. We begin the final lap. Final lap here at the Austrian Grand Prix, and we have the chance to enact revenge on Valtteri Bottas. Here we go. And it is revenge. We take him out of the podium spots. Hamilton now, however, back up into P5. Valtteri Bottas, however, falls down to P8, P9. So he's only going to be getting 2 or 3 points. Hamilton, he's not on the podium. He's not going to be able to, so the Mercedes not going to be able to defend their lead in the constructors. It was not a very clean move on the Mercedes, one bit, but sometimes you have to be aggressive. Coming up to Hamilton, he knows we're there. He's going to get out of the way. We don't care. We're going to scare him a bit. And we take the checkered flag in Austria. And we take lead of the constructors' points standings. Let's go. Sebastian Vettel, driver of the day. And Max Verstappen, P2 for the Red Bull. Sebastian Vettel, P3. Well done to those two drivers. Absolutely amazing drive. And I say we are being well rewarded for our efforts. Sparkling stuff. And a podium. Once again. And our third race victory.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the driver's standings. Martin takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant, who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
I have to say Sebastian Vettel certainly caught my eye during today's race. Incredible driving.
Let's move on to the constructors. Haas make it to the top of the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
So as you can see here, there, we are now in the lead of the constructors' standings. But still, long season ahead. So, we will not stop fighting, but here I'll show you the... So now the tables have turned in the constructors' standings. As you can see, we are now ahead of Mercedes by 7 points. That was the gap that they had over us. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this face cam. Not sure how intense I looked. But yes, more races to come. See you guys later.